They said wait till today and Villa will overtake you. They said wait until today and Chelsea will overtake you. Well, guess what? Forest are legit third in the league. Welcome to, I was going to say grumpy old Reds. Happy old Reds.
Wow.
Evening, everybody. Hope you're doing well, and welcome to the live podcast where I'm not sure. I don't know what I've missed this weekend, but somehow or other, I just had a look at the table, and I don't know if it's upside down, boys, or what's going on. But apparently, there are 3 European champions holding the top 3 positions actually the top 4 positions. I could say 5, but Arsenal haven't got one, so we can't really put them in that one. Hope you guys are doing well. Please don't forget to hit the like button. Make sure you have subscribed as well if you are new here. And just a couple of things. We will take the mick out of crypto, by the way, and I want to see what you guys think about his Watford background now.
It's definitely Wolves. Definitely Wolves. Watford are more yellow. It's definitely Wolves.
Watford won 6-2 yesterday, so you know this is
it's not Watford. It's Wolves.
I think Cujo's saying it's Wolves.
That's what
I figured Ben out now. He just loves misery. He loves misery, right? Forest is doing so well. He can't complain about anything. So now he's like, let's see what Wolves saying. Let's just pick another Midlands club that's doing crap, man. Anyway, we'll take the mick out of him in just a second. But we've got a couple of super chats that we need to catch up on. I can't see Sebastian's one. It's disappeared. Sebastian, I'll read it out. I don't know why. Can you boys see it?
I'll bring it up.
Thank you for the £2. He goes, Forest are more pro-European than Rob's Lib Dems. I love it. It takes the mick out of Rob, and it's factually correct. Love it. Absolutely love it. Dino with the £5 says, have a great birthday, Wolfie. Even better now, we are still third. Thank you so much, Dino. And on that, I can now officially confirm our lazy special guest will be there. He has confirmed. He was crying on the phone to me last night. Oh, bro, I can't believe it. You were right. Nuno's the man. We're third. And that will be Brucey. So there's still some seat tickets left. If you want to grab them, 20th of November, 7 p.m., Grosvenor Casino, Maid Marian Way. These lot will be here. And Brucey, the legend, will be there as well. So make sure you come down. The link's pinned in the comments. It's completely free. We're paying for your entry fee. Come down. We'll have a good time and a laugh. And Forest are marching on. What are you going to say?
And the casino are doing a burger and bun for 10 quid, which at this day and age is, I understand, because I don't.
A burger and bun?
A burger and a pint. Burger and a pint for 10 quid. And I think that's a pretty
I don't know what Ant's been arranging, but
I've been looking at that Aina picture.
You're taken away from the actual announcement now, guys.
You're the one who said it.
Burger and a pint for 10 quid, which I understand is pretty good value these days.
Right. Okay. I hope it's that.
Oh, no.
Well, he's frozen again. He's gone to sort his burger and bun out, right?
Very expensive freeze frame there.
That's good. We get a bit of peace and quiet. I don't mind it, to be honest. I don't mind it.
So you haven't mentioned that at the Grosvenor we've got crypto lined up to do an impromptu session of blockbusters before we start as well as the warm-up act.
Well, we're gonna bring in a full-size tumbleweed, right, for the live event. For the live event. Jess with the £10. Thank you so much. Evening, gents. Where's my fave?
I'm here. Come and see. I'm here, look.
He might be on his way. He's running late. It's 50-50 right now. We'll keep you posted on that. But waiting for Wolfie's birthday bash is coming, man. I'm looking forward to it. We're gonna have a laugh. It's gonna be good fun. We're gonna take the mick out. Let's get this out of the way before we talk about all the good stuff. Let's start with a negative. Crypto, what's going on?
With this,
Yeah.
So I've had a bit of an echo in this room, and the only way to solve it was getting these wall panels. I don't know what the real name is for them. Anyway, I had a choice between black, yellow, blue, and grey. And seeing so my company's colours are yellow and black, I thought, you know, we'll stick to corporation colours. There was no red ones, unfortunately. So
they're not yellow. They're not yellow.
well, no, my company's colours are like goldy yellow. Trust me, it's like an exact match. It's pretty spot on, actually. But yeah, I wanted some red ones, but they didn't have them. So what can you do?
Time to get the paint spray out, mate.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've ruined the wall. I'll need if there's any plasterers in the chat in about 12 months' time when I move out. If anybody want to come and plaster the wall to make the landlord happy, then let me know.
Yeah, we know he's just a Wolves fan, mate. I'll speak with Dazzling Dave, see if he's got a slot for you. Okay, should we start talking? And Mark's done the Rob joke. Rob did this off stage. He literally did this off stage. Mark, that's like an insult to you. Basically, that your sense of humor is the same as Rob's. I'll take the P Bob. Now, for those of you who don't know what that means, who are young like me, still 22.
I don't know what that means.
Blockbusters, mate. There used to be letters on that kind of hexagon.
Rob's just been going on about this, but Blockbusters was the shop where you hired like DVDs.
No.
Yeah,
no.
you can use that phrase for more than one thing.
Yeah. Okay. Can we?
You have blockbuster films, you know. I mean, you can use it for several. You know, you can apply it to several situations.
I've just got one question. One question for Crypto. What tea is a ball of vegetation that blows through the desert?
I'm just gonna say twat because
That's it.
All right. Can we start now? Because I want to be all happy clappy. I want to be all happy clappy. Yeah, it's hard for Ben. It's hard for Ben, man. It's hard for Ben. All right, let's start with you, Anne, before you freeze and bugger off again, right? What are you saying, man? Third in the league, absolutely hammered West Ham yesterday, no pun intended. Best performance since we've been back? Is that going too far?
Probably the most enjoyable one. That was the thing about yesterday. If I'm honest, as a football fan, you don't actually enjoy many games. You might enjoy the result. You might, enjoy the final whistle. But I actually enjoyed that game yesterday. I would describe it as easy. It was an easy game. We were in total control. At no point did I have the slightest doubt we were going to win that game. West Ham were poor, which we knew they'd be poor, but we were superb. Some of the passing and the directness of us was absolutely super. We never looked in any trouble at the back. And I'll go along with the West Ham fans here. You used to want Nuno. I'll move on.
This is the problem being on YouTube, mate. There's receipts.
Listen, after a game when you've just played absolutely shit, you're allowed to say what you like. You do know that, don't you? It's instant reaction. You're allowed to fucking,
It was like 24 hours later.
I remember when we played against Bolton Wanderers and Stan Collymore came on. It was 0-0. Stan Collymore came on, scored a kick from the goalkeeper, one bounce, Stan back of the net, scored. I went fucking massive.
Then he got
5
sent
minutes
off.
later, 5 minutes later, he elbowed a guy at Bolton bloke in the face and got sent off. I wanted him out of the club. I was that disappointed and upset. Get out of this fucking club, you useless. Yeah.
Can I interrupt briefly? Can I interrupt briefly? That was on my 21st birthday. I was at that game.
I was about the same. So what I'm trying to say is you can have an immediate reaction to a result or a goal or something, and you sometimes overreact a little bit.
Wait, so you wanted Collymore out
down on that one. Don't pin me down.
You wanted Collymore out, your hero.
For that second, yeah. I was so angry at him because I loved him that much. He'd been out injured for several games in which we'd not done well. It was 0-0. Bolton, he came on, scored within a minute, and 5 minutes later got sent off. I was so annoyed at him for being sent off because I knew we were going to miss him again. So,
and ladies and gents, backstage right now, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Stanley Collins. Imagine.
I tell him, like I told Alan Rodgers that he pissed me off because he scored that one goal against Man United and gave me hope. I told him on here.
All right, back to the game. Back to the game.
Yeah. So it's a long time since I can remember sitting in a Forest game and enjoying it. We're not wanting it to end. We were just so good. And obviously, we'll get onto individual players later. But as a team, we were so good. Nobody let me down yesterday. They were all on point, and I loved it. And it was so pleasant. And I believe that we are now a proper Premier League team, because West Ham, they're playing shit this season, but they are an established Premier League team. It's not like we've beaten Ipswich or somebody. You know what I'm saying? It's a proper established Premier League team that we took to the cleaners, totally outclassed in every way, and got what we deserved. We could have had more, but let's not be greedy. And yeah, absolutely buzzing. Absolutely buzzing. Third in the table. Wow.
Yeah. Let me just catch up with some super chats. Come to Rob, and there's a funny super chat. I've just pre-read it. The legend Stuart back in the UK. Thank you so much for the £10. He says, great show, best panel, made my life easier. Even you, Rob. Just kidding. Adore you in an awkward way. I gotta say, I got a voice note from Stuart earlier, and he's like, who is this? Is this Wolfie? Is this Ez? Please don't be Rob. No, I'm joking. Thank you so much for the £10, buddy. Appreciate it, mate. And I love this. This is my favorite super chat of the night. I haven't heard this one. Matt with the 4.99. He goes, funniest line of the weekend. The gap between Man City and Arsenal is big enough to get a Forest in. That's quality. That's quality. But we won't be satisfied until we win the title. Absolutely right, Matt. Standards. We have standards, heritage, everything, right? We need to win the title. Roberto Domingo. They love it. And by the way, you can send Rob to the sin bin. There's this new feature on live streams now on YouTube. I don't know. I've just done it as a test. If there's 10 super chats in the next 30 minutes, Rob gets sent to the sin bin for 5 minutes of peace and quiet. Can't wait.
I think that means including the ones we've already had.
I don't know. It says 2 out of 10. I don't know how it works.
It's all the interrupting here.
All right. Well, before you get sin bin, someone's got a little annoying noise on their mic. I think it's you, Ben. Like,
Really?
Yeah. Every time you accidentally hitting it or something. Yeah. Why you fix that, Rob? Talk to us.
Oh yeah, it kind of rattles afterwards, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's weird. That is.
They can hear a little popping noise. It's like popping noise. I don't know if the chat can hear it. Anyway, Rob. Third.
Do we seriously need to think about renaming this program now? Because there's absolutely nothing to be grumpy about, really, is there? I mean,
there's always something, mate.
No. Well, my browser is stuck on 1995 every time I click on the league table with third. So apart from that, I mean, so we were discussing best performance, best entertainment. I think best performance was still Liverpool. Best entertainment was still Chelsea. In terms of yesterday, you can only beat what's put in front of you. I mean, obviously it was 10 men for the second half, but even in the first half against 11, we completely outclassed them. Nobody was above average, if that makes sense. Everybody was above average. So, I mean, even Elanga had a good game. I'm starting to see why Nuno's keeping faith in him. As for the midfield, I think this is becoming the first choice midfield, even when everybody's back from injury. I would dispute changing this midfield. We've just had maximum points from the last 3 games with this midfield. Obviously, we had Gibbs White in for Anderson, but I mean, it's balanced. It's working well, and they're all playing the 90. So nothing to be.
One sec, Rob. Sorry to interrupt you, Ben. It's still doing that popping noise.
Strange.
Ooh,
Just go on mute. Just go on mute until we get to. Go on, Rob.
It's gonna be like a Zoom call. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Yeah. You're on mute.
So, yeah, no, seriously, nothing to be grumpy about. In terms of, are we in a title race? I mean, obviously, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
About that.
But if you look at what we've got coming up,
ask him, Rob. Ask him. Ask him. The crybaby.
Oh, here he is. What?
We're third.
He doesn't sound like that. That's not a very good impression. It's a bit like your impression of me.
Shall I play the voice note? We're third.
You're playing it at double speed or something.
You were right. Your football knowledge is better than mine.
Just to finish, we've got obviously Newcastle, Arsenal, Man City coming up. we'll know after those whether we are in a title race because it's in our hands. But what I would say is, having got those 9 points in the bag, and after the 3 performances we've just had, I really don't fear those games at all. I'm actually looking forward to them, and I'm thinking, bring it on. I want to see our lineup against Man City and Arsenal because they're vulnerable at the moment.
Mate, I'm not scared of anyone. Literally no one. Bring on Real Madrid. Screw 'em. Bring on Barca. I don't care. Bring them on. Under Nuno, man. We're just gonna destroy them all. We really are. Just before I come to you, Ben, just quick catch up on some super chats. Dino with the 9 months. Thank you so much, much, buddy. Appreciate it. Tommy boy, he wants Rob in the sin bin with the £2. Get him in that sin bin. That's 3 out of 10 we got there. And the legend Stuart, he says with the £20, says I'm sending 20 because I can. LOL. Rob, fight for your right to party. You know, got nothing back to say to Stuart, Rob.
No.
You're
Thank
not
you very much,
sinning.
Stuart. Thank you for the super chat.
Yeah. All right, Ben, your mic, is it working?
Is it still popping?
Not like Forest, but no, go on.
I thought yesterday was fantastic. I've come to the realization that, as Rob's just hinted, I don't mind now who starts on the pitch. I don't care if Alanga starts. I don't care if Yates starts. I think what we're seeing is an actual team. And maybe we were wrong to think that Jota should start, etc. Maybe this is the team that's truly gelled, because they played yesterday absolutely fantastic. And you can see it. I mean, I've never seen a Forest performance like this. You know, I wasn't around in the good old years of Stan Collymore and winning the Champions League, etc., the European Cups. This is new Forest for me. And I thought it was absolutely brilliant yesterday.
Was that a joke?
No, why?
I wouldn't have been a bad joke for you. Anyway, go on.
I didn't.
Tumbleweed for Wolfie.
Tumbleweed.
But go on, you are making a good point for once. You are making a good point. Like for this younger generation, such as you and I, who didn't get to see the European days, who didn't get to see Collymore, Roy, Bohinen,
exactly.
You know,
Look,
Bayern Munich and all that stuff. None of this stuff would be familiar, you know, to someone of my age. This is new territory for you.
This is new territory. I mean, the best I've ever seen Forest do prior to getting back in the Premier League is Championship, and this now is different to just being in the Premier League.
Oh.
This is Ant about to crash out. He's shaking his head.
No.
This for me is new territory, and I think the way this season is going, why should we not dream? Why can we not do a Leicester? Why can't this be our Leicester?
Well, no.
Season?
How can you call it doing a Leicester?
Not get relegated. I don't mean get relegated. I mean
exactly
Ranieri season.
No, but that means nothing. That means that because firstly, Forest did it better than Leicester. Can we all agree that? Yeah. So why would we not call it doing a Forest? This whole doing a Leicester thing, it means I don't understand it.
We were pretty good that season, but this is
that was their second season, so it's not even the same thing.
The thing about this is it's not fluke. This is serious. This is a solid back line of defense, a brilliant midfield, and basically a hero in Chris Wood up front. This is not a fluke. This is not a one-off. I'm now going into matches thinking we should win this. I'm no longer scared. When we go 1-0 up now, I no longer think we're going to concede. I just think we're going to score again. And this Forest right now is, to be honest, I'm not for violence, but I hope Nuno goes onto the pitch next game and just punches someone in the face, because when he's in the stands, we play much better. I want Nuno suspended for the rest of the season. That's how good we're playing.
That will be clipped. That will be clipped. Those 3 words.
I want Nuno managing from row Z. Don't take it out of context.
That's too bad you've said it now. You can't unsay it.
From row Z. That's what we want to see, because it's been fantastic since he's been managing from the sidelines. Well, not the sidelines.
You know what? Do you chat? Do you agree with him? Do you all prefer? Let's do a poll. Do you prefer Nuno in the dugout or in the stands? Now,
Gotta
there are
be.
other ways, like he could have just sworn about Howard Webb or something, right? That, you know, he could have done that. He doesn't have to go and
Yeah,
punch
sorry,
someone.
yeah. I mean, I'm thinking like a whole term season ban. You know, you got to go.
You're thinking like a Cantona thing, yeah? Drop
Yeah,
kick someone in the crowd, yeah?
fighting headbutt Zidane type thing.
Yeah. But do you guys think that he's better off in the stands? I'll get a poll
Yes.
up, but
We should give a shout out to, I don't know how you pronounce his name. Is it Rui? Our assistant manager
yeah,
is.
it's got silver as well, yeah.
What he's doing on that sideline is brilliant. And I know he's getting, you know, the communications from Nuno up in the stands, but he's still on the pitch shouting and giving orders.
Did you
And
hear what Jace said? Did you hear what Jace said? You know, mate, Jace from Beat the Drop.
oh
He's
yeah,
like,
he'd rather have Rui for manager.
yeah, he goes, that assistant manager looks all right at Forest. Maybe we should get him instead of Lopetegui.
Well, compared with Lopetegui, mate, it would be a better choice. I can tell you that much.
They worked together at Wolves, didn't they? Those two go back. They worked together at Wolves.
Yeah.
So what are you lot
serious
saying?
question.
What are you lot saying then, Rob? Are you Nuno in or out of the dugout?
Well, there's definitely something to be said playing from the TV camera view. I mean, I'm sure when you guys play FIFA, you have the camera positioned pretty much where Nuno is looking from.
Mate, all the time.
Don't start hating on FIFA though. That's too far.
No, but no, I'm saying that you can spot when somebody's pushing up too much or when someone's not being picked up. Very, very difficult to do with depth perception when you're really low down by the side of the pitch. So it's clearly working. And I think, hats off to Rui Pedro Silva, because he's like a calming influence. You know, he's not getting involved in any kind of melee or afters. But he seems to be very sort of proactive in giving everybody instructions. But, you know, I think Nuno's, it's not like Nuno's whispering in his ear. He seems fairly sort of fairly detached. He's, you know, obviously he's put the game plan together. He's told them before. He's picked the team. Does the halftime team talk. But I don't think he's micromanaging, because I think those two are so much on the same page that he trusts. He said in his interview, "I trust him to make the decisions in the game."
So is the team, though. That's the difference. Everybody is on the same page. That is
You're right. Everybody knows their job.
We have an actual team, and that's why I'm sure we'll discuss it later. But I don't want to change the lineup now going forward, because we have an actual team who gels, and it's fantastic. May long it continue. If we beat Newcastle, that'll be a real tester for us.
And just before you have your say on Nuno, what are you saying? I can't. We'll come back to this. We'll talk about the defense. We'll come back. I don't want to machine gun across.
On that point, I was going to say, I've said for a long time, you may or may not know, I said for a long time, I don't understand why managers stand on the touchline, because nobody on the pitch listens to them unless they're actually called over and stand next to them. You know, you've got 30,000 people around you, the far side of the pitch, you ain't going to hear your manager. So the view from there is absolutely awful. As Rob said, there's no distance perspective. So you can't see if there's a hole in the midfield. You can't see because you can't tell the gaps between them. So in my opinion, all managers should sit up in the gods and analyze the game and communicate with the person down below to actually make the adjustments. Why do you need to be down there? We've proven over the last 3 games it's not for inspiration. We've proven so there's actually no logical reason to be stood on that touchline. It is just an old-fashioned, that's the way it's always been done. We didn't used to have communications the way we have now. So in the old days, like in the 70s, for example, if a manager was in the stand, he couldn't tell the assistant to, you know, change the direction or to bring on a sub or whatever. He couldn't do that. Now you can. So I don't understand why all managers don't. It is just literally because that's the way it's always been. If it started from now, they would.
I think
more
on the instructions.
Craig, can I just say to Craig, the last few times I've been to the City ground, there has been a drone hovering above the pitch all match.
Yeah, they'll film it for analysis. They'll film it for analysis.
Yeah. So I don't understand why more managers don't do that. As I say, it is just in my opinion, just because football's a very slow changing game.
Was it Karanka? Was it Karanka who did it at us?
Yeah, I think Karanka did. Yeah.
I think
funnily enough, one of the most analytical brains in football, who's an absolute shit manager, Sam Allardyce, he used to do that all the time. He used to always sit in the stand. Now you can laugh because you don't like his style of football, but he has got a sharp football brain, Sam Allardyce has. And he realised in those days the only way he could get his teams to win games was by playing the way he used to play.
So
And that's how
the
he used to analyse
advantage
it.
of being on the touchline is during the stoppages in play, which there are plenty of, injuries and stuff like that. You can call over your captain or
Yeah,
you
you can.
players
Well,
give
I did mention that, but
Yeah.
you watch a game of football and it's 2-3 times maximum in a game that they actually come over and talk.
Can I
And
just
not only
say,
that, hold on a sec. Not only that, you can give those instructions to your assistant and he can bring the players
Absolutely.
over and pass on those.
Yeah. I just want to say something really important before Ez comes in, because we're nearly approaching half an hour. How many super chats do we need to sim bin, Rob? It
I
can't
don't
be
know
many.
what. Oh, is that a
Six.
YouTube thing? Half an hour.
It's
Is
a
that a
YouTube
YouTube
thing.
thing?
Yeah. You can just put a timer on it. Let
must be
me
pretty
just
close.
catch up with the super chats just before we finish this discussion. Dean with the £2 says Rob's been raided. Simon Cowell's been raiding Simon Cowell's wardrobe. It's true. It's true.
He's been raiding my wardrobe.
Mark Zuckerberg's wardrobe.
Thank you so much, Dean. Jess with the £2 says we need sense. Whoops means sense. Oh, speaking of sense, he's just arrived in the house. Thank you so much, Jessica, for the £2. And Chris with the £2 says, who wanted us to get Lopetegui? It's Teddy in. Well, I got sent a message, right? I'm just gonna say, in fact, I'll shout him out. It was Thomas who sent it to me, and he said to ask Ez, "Are you? Do
When
you
did
still?"
I ask for Lopetegui?
Yeah, well, there's receipts, mate. There's receipts. But before you answer, just catch up on the rest of the super chats. Thank you, Chris, for the £2. Joker with the 199.
No, we're
Get
clearly
Rob in
not.
the sin bin. You are lagging so hard, man. You're lagging so hard. Thank you so much, Joker. We are close to getting Rob in the sin bin. And then Stuart with the £10 super sticker as well. Thank you so much, Stuart. That's saying 4 out of 10, but I'm just counting them. That's way more.
It's more than 4.
Yeah. How
that's
many
more
sheets?
than- What does it say for you guys in the chat on that target thing? Does it say 4 out of 10? I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
it does.
gonna
It's 4 out of
sim
10.
bin him anyway.
11, 12, 13. We've
What
had
do I have to do? 5 minutes.
13 super chats.
5 minutes. So I'm gonna slap Rob on mute. He's muted.
See you, Rob.
It's
What?
10 teal super chats, it says.
10 what?
So your price, your how much you pay is your colour. I think 1.99 is teal, and then it's like orange if it's 20 quid, and it's 10 teal. People have been too generous. I think that's the problem.
No, I think it's above.
It's all right. It's gone anyway. I think
It's all right. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We got
£10
rich.
is a teal. £10 is a teal.
Let's just take a moment and enjoy the site. I'll tell you what I'll do to make it fair, right? Let me reset it to the bottom level. Okay. And Ez, are you gonna answer for your crimes?
No, I don't know what my crimes are.
Which he has
you wanted
many narrowing
Lopetegui ahead
That's
of
me.
Nuno.
Yeah, you best leave the screen as.
Yeah.
Because you made the wrong decision. You should apologize to everyone.
At least own up to it.
He's left.
Bloody hell, did we insult him that much?
Has he been to have his haircut?
Probably. He gets
Probably.
back every week.
Or he's been
looks
to
pretty
East
sharp.
London, mate. Check on Lopetegui.
Yeah,
So maybe
I'm surprised no one's noticed.
Right, shall we talk about Forest then for a bit? Because we've spent a lot of time so far just waffling.
I want to take the piss out of this though. All right, fine. All right,
No,
let's
he's not
talk
here though,
about
is he? Wait till he gets here, then do it.
He's here, look. He's here. Hi, lads.
He's in the
He's
chat.
back. He's
All
back.
right.
No, he's not.
Wait, is that him on that motorbike? Okay, let's enjoy the 5 minutes of peace and quiet without Rob, right? So let's talk about some individual players. I'm gonna start with Dominguez because you can take over, Ant, but what an unsung hero I thought he's been in the last few games and especially yesterday. What are you saying to Dominguez now? And I know
You know
were saying
what?
good
I
things.
think he is so fucking underrated. I can 100% understand why people wanted to give Milenkovic man of the match, why they wanted to give Chris Wood man of the match. But if you watch that, if you were there, especially if you're there, because again, this is not getting anybody that can't, it's not lucky enough to be there. But obviously, the television focuses mainly on the ball, so you don't always see all the running off the ball. Kelvin Wilson, ex of Forest, he gave the perfect description of absolute. No, he didn't. Take that back. I'm talking rubbish, right?
There's a
I'm going to
first.
use that. I'm going to use his description though, because I think this is how he described Jota. But I would describe Dominguez as like a burst balloon. He is everywhere. Unbelievable the amount he gets through, and he seems to have got his fitness now as well, because he lasts the 90 as well, which is vital because before he was struggling after 60. And he's just so and he can pass the ball, you know. He's a danger. He is everywhere, and it's so, I think, undervalued, particularly from people outside of Nottingham Forest. I don't think that they can appreciate what he brings to his team. And as Rob said earlier on, it's going to be a hell of interesting when we get our players back, because you can't drop Dominguez. He's been brilliant.
Does he remind you of Kante? Like, someone took the words out. Someone wrote it in the chat. Yeah, Friar Tuck. Dominguez is our Kante. I honestly see it. I see the resemblance.
Yeah. I think Kante's perhaps a tiny bit more creative, although neither of them are particularly creative. But I think that he's a little bit more forward passing with the ball. But there again, that may be because of the people he had in front of him. I mean, he had Drogba and the likes in front of him, and Lampard around him. You know what I mean?
He was overrated.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, yes, I think he's very similar to Kante. Absolutely.
So, was he your man of the match?
Yeah, why not?
No.
Okay, all right. So, who was better than him?
Yeah, but look at it this way, Ben. If you take Chris Wood out, you're down a goal. If you take, hang on. If you take Milenkovic out, we would still not have conceded. Take Dominguez out.
Yeah, but I wouldn't mention either of those. My man of the match was Aina.
My boy
Aina was fantastic. Aina,
can't disagree, mate. Can't disagree.
One of the things as well, when I didn't see the game in the stadium yesterday, but I've been to all the other home matches. And one thing you see in the stadium is the amount of work that Aina puts in up and down that wing constantly. And you can tell, because like he said in his post-match interview, he struck the ball because he was knackered. He said, I just shot it because I was so tired. That's basically what he says.
You don't get that much power into a ball if you're knackered, I can tell you. You don't get that much power. If you're knackered,
that's his weak foot.
On his weak foot, that barely bobbles in if you're knackered.
Can we just say that Aina and Callum Hudson-Odoi together cost £3 million, aka Aina cost nothing. What a team we've got. And the way they gel, we all know how well Aina Elanga and Callum Hudson-Odoi get on off the pitch as well. I think it's fantastic. I mean, there's so many players you could shout out yesterday. I thought Moreno had an excellent game as well. It was brilliance all across the pitch. But yeah, I mean, to go back to Dominguez, me and Ant have been pretty consistent. Dominguez for us is normally a starter. You know, I'd keep it as it is now. Yeah, I'm happy with Yates, but prior to this, it would have been Domingo and Anderson next to each other.
Surely Dominguez and Danilo. That's Domingo.
No. Anderson's better than Danilo. But yeah, I mean, we know how good Domingo is. We know how good Domingo is.
Don't just say he's better than as if that's a definitive answer.
I mean, Anderson is better than Danilo. It's a fact.
No, it's not.
It's not an opinion. It's a
fact.
No,
it's not. Yeah, it's an opinion. So, in your opinion, he's better. Not he is better.
I mean,
yeah, but he's not fit, so like Anderson's better.
Anderson is better
right now. Yes, I can't disagree.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, Rob's better than Danilo.
I am right now.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. I want to have this debate though, but let me catch up on the super chats again. Sai with the £5 says Nuno is playing players in their right position. I wonder why that's the point there, Sai. But it's Milenkovic and Wood who are running things on the pitch. They are leaders. They are absolute leaders. I love Milenko. I love them all. I love them all.
Great. It's great, isn't it?
It's weird. It's weird, boys. It's like, there's no disasters, man. I'm not ready for this mentally.
I thought the stat that the commentator said yesterday was really interesting. Chris Wood, who is on absolute fire, is the player who moves the most out of all of our team on the pitch. I think that's amazing. So do
you remember under the previous regime, he was growing roots in the middle of that pitch?
Yeah, man. So he's doing the most miles on the pitch out of all our team, and he's scoring every game.
Yeah,
which I think is fantastic. I mean, Rob's come back about 4.5 minutes early, but
No, he's not. He's good. He's good. Jake with the $5 says, one minor criticism this season was lacking goals. Now 6-2. And after both games, we're all thinking should have been more. Getting better and better. We could have scored about six
Oh, it could have
yesterday.
been six.
Easy.
That
Jake.
Jose strike and that Awani strike should have been in the back of the net.
Yeah, but is this now, Rob, the progression we're seeing? We've seen a team at the start of the season, I mean, we're getting one goal, maybe winning 1-0, the odd 1-1 draw here and there now. Now, as Jake says, we're banging in 3 goals per game in the last couple of games. We're not conceding at the back, apart from Grandad Vardy, who just got a sneaky one in. Like, what's wrong with the team? Like, how does the team improve? I guess is my question, because Nuno's always going about there's more work to do, more improvement to do. If this team still has improvement to make, then we really should be getting excited, shouldn't we?
Am I off mute?
Yeah, you good.
Okay, so I think what we're starting to see now, what I really like is that we had some goals that weren't from Chris Wood. And I think it's almost that the other players need to be free to have a shot, right? So, I mean, I remember when Aina went on that run towards the end, we were all shouting at the TV, just shoot, because after all, you're 2-0 up anyway. Why not have a go? And he did, and we scored. And we need a little bit more of that, because I almost feel like the rest of them have been a little bit held back. And I think they need to have the same attitude as Chris Wood himself, because as he said in his interview after the Palace game, if you keep pinging them away, one's going to go in. And I think the rest of them need that. I mean, Fabianski had a good game yesterday.
Yeah, he was their man of the match.
So I think that is the next progression, which is that the rest of the team need to feel entrusted to have a shot, because they're good enough. And I think that, 6 goals in the last 2 games is absolutely what we needed, because we're better than just nicking 1-0s from a Chris Wood header. We're better than that. And we're starting to show it now. Yeah.
And can I just say as well, right? Because Chris, not Wood, Chris from Forest All Over, he's doing my head in. He's doing Matt's head in as well, right? He called that would win at Anfield. He claims he called a 2-2 draw at Brighton, yeah? But I got him back yesterday because I said 3-0 and he said 3-1. And he has the audacity to say to me that he inspired my scoreline. Unbelievable. The arrogance on that. I feel sorry for Matt. I really do. Make sure you are listening to Forest All Over. They are both legends. One of them more so than the other. No, I love them both really. But yeah, it's honestly, he would ruin wins for me and Matt. He really would. I got it right. Not this weekend. Right, couple more super chats to catch up on. Stuart with the £10 saying, love this community. This community is actually unreal. It is amazing. Thank you so much for the £10. As always, Stuart, thank you so much for your support. And we love this community so much that we'll be covering entry costs for my birthday bash. So if you want to grab your tickets, there's still a couple left, seated ones. If you want to guarantee seats, comfortable ones in the booths. There was quite a few booths, weren't there, if I remember rightly?
I think 4. 4 booths, the old 6 each.
6, what's that? 24, and then little table seats with things and food, and you'll have table serving and all this lovely stuff.
Yeah. Oh, it is table service as well. It's table service, and it's £10 for a burger and a pie.
Not a bum, right?
Not a bum. I said bun, not bum.
It didn't sound like it. Anyway,
I'll have to be arranged separately.
Wednesday, the 20th of November, is kicking off at 7 p.m. at Grosvenor Casino, May Marion Way. The link's in the description. We just need to know the numbers. So if you can grab one of those e-tickets so we can tell them how many are going to be there. If you're free, come, but you have to be over 18. I just about qualify. Thank you so much again, Stuart, for the £10. And Chris with the £2 says, doesn't Rob mean listening on the radio? Wink, wink.
That's definitely what I meant. Definitely. Mr. Murdoch, if you're watching right now, I was listening on Radio Nottingham.
Mr. Murdoch doesn't own Sky, man. He left Sky about 10 years ago.
All right, whoever.
Yeah, I used to work at Sky, and everyone used to say, we don't like Murdoch, so we don't have it. Murdoch left Sky about 10 years ago.
Who owns it now, then?
Huh?
Who owns it now then?
It's owned by
Shall we
an
move
American,
on? Shall we
American
move on?
company called Comcast. It's owned by
Let's move
Comcast.
on. Let's move on. Okay, let's move on.
Can I
on.
just say
They will be
something totally sort of random? I was at the
Go
match
on.
yesterday and I was looking at our fantastic back line, our back four, and I thought, fuck me, that cost 23 million in total.
Well, I did a video on that today on Patreon, mate.
23. Well, sorry, I didn't watch it. 23 million. 23 million for that back four.
So you are ready to agree, Ant? Are you ready to agree that it's the best one in the Premier League? Pound for pound. Pound for pound.
Oh, pound for pound by a mile. By a mile.
All right, without pound for pound. Without
Who's
pound for
better?
pound.
Who's better?
I still think that Arsenal's back line is better.
Oh, come on.
The back line has conceded 11 goals compared to our 7. Yeah, makes sense.
That's
And
not
one
the
was
back
penalty.
line. That's not the back line they would normally put out. The back line of Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, and Timber. That back line.
Timber, who got schooled yesterday, yeah.
Ben
Okay.
White-
No, they didn't. No, they didn't because that back line didn't play yesterday.
Timber played, he got schooled.
No, he didn't. He played right back. He didn't play left back.
He did. He still messed up.
No. You can't do that. You can't do that.
Why are you getting rattled,
People-
mate? Why are you getting rattled?
We've seen Murillo at left back. It's not good. So you can't do
So
that.
Timber can play right back, left back, and centre back. Look at his card on FIFA. It's got all 3 positions.
I don't do funny.
Maybe you should. Maybe you should, mate. You'd learn a thing
No,
or
I
two.
actually go down to the ground and watch proper football. No, I don't sit at home watching FIFA, mate.
You don't watch it, mate. You play it. You play it. Okay. Well, let's talk about. I want to talk about an interesting question. All right. It's going to be called our number 10 position. Morgan Gibbs-White versus Anderson. And I don't know the answer to this. I'm going to need your help because these idiots are going to say dumb shit, right? I'm going to put my cards on the table and say Morgan Gibbs-White still our best number 10. Ben, what are you saying?
Yeah, I mean, I thought MGW yesterday, I thought he was brilliant. Say's been out for a few games. I thought he was involved in a lot of the goals as well. What people don't realize is he may not get a direct assist, but quite often he's passing the ball that does go to the assister. I thought he was fantastic yesterday, and some of his skills are just a different quality to everyone else. I mean, I'd have both of them on the pitch because I'd have Morgan Gibbs-White in the 10 and I'd have Anderson in the 8. And then pick your choice for who goes in the 6. But in the 10, for me, I'd have to go for Morgan Gibbs-White. I think he's too good to drop. And yesterday, he came back and he proved that. And I think Anderson's brilliant, so I'd have him on the pitch as well. But in the 10, like Russell says, they can rotate. They can rotate whilst they're on the pitch.
That's not the question. That's not the question.
I'd have Morgan Gibbs-White in the 10. I'd have Anderson in the 8.
Okay. Now, Rob, what's interesting is for most of the season, you've had it the other way around. Anderson 10, Morgan Gibbs-White 8. So who is, in your opinion, the best number 10 out of the 2? And by the way, before you lot start clipping Rob up, right, those certain trollers, yeah, doesn't mean doesn't like either. This is a good question. This is a good problem. This is a problem you could only dream of. Right?
I'll give you the straight answer first and then the nuanced one, because if I try to give the nuanced one, I'll get interrupted. So straight answer is Gibbs-White. Okay, now the nuanced answer is, I was thinking about this, and one way to think about it is, who would you not want to be sold? All right. Now, so just bear with me on this. If we sold Gibbs-White, I would think, fair enough, it was coming. I would be resigned to it, yeah? If we sold Anderson, I would be furious.
Like the Newcastle fans.
Yes. So when you put it that way, does it mean that we place a greater value on Anderson? That's just one way of looking at it. But in terms of Gibbs-White yesterday, it was great to see that there's no fitness worry over him. He was straight back in full form. His ball through to Moreno set up the first goal. It was excellent ball as well through to Moreno. So he was back firing on all cylinders. But for now, I'm comfortable with the two of them sharing that position because, we got 2/3 of the game Gibbs-White, 1/3 Anderson. We don't have to start with both. We have the option, but I'm really, really happy with what Yates and Dominguez are doing behind in the two positions behind the 10. So I don't really feel that we have to try and squeeze Anderson into that. For the next few games, it's absolutely fine for him to come on for the last half an hour.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying Gibbs White is my number 10 at the moment. But it's
a politician's answer. Who do you want in the 10? Morgan Gibbs White or Anderson?
I gave you a straight answer up front, so you couldn't come up with this whiny argument, right? I gave you a straight answer. It was Gibbs White. But
you're doing a Keir Starmer.
If Anderson was to start scoring goals regularly, he would be staking a claim for that spot. I think that's what's missing.
What if
from his
Morgan
game.
starts scoring goals regularly?
No. Look, that is Gibbs White's position by default at the moment. But if Anderson starts scoring goals, he will have a better claim on that position than Gibbs White.
Yeah,
Anderson at the moment is doing everything but scoring goals. That's
the problem with hypotheticals is I could just say, what happens if Morgan Gibbs White starts?
Right, you answer it. You answer your go. Look, I'll have a pee, please, Bob. Go on. You answer it then. What's your answer?
He's answered it. You should have been listening. All right, let's. I want to ask Ant because Ant rolled his eyes when Ben answered. So, go on.
Well, I'm going to back Rob on this one on a couple of points. First of all, Crypto, you can't just answer a fucking question with a one-word answer. It'd be a very short podcast. You have to expand and put it into context. All right.
You can marinate it a little.
Yeah, but you can go in the middle. You know,
who would you have, Rob? MGW. All right, on to the next subject. No, you got to expand it a little.
Marinate it.
He never gave an answer there.
No, he did, and I actually pretty much agree with his answer. It's a very nice dilemma to have. We've got real problems, real serious issues, but they're good ones. Because if you say MGW in the 10, for example, you have to then look at who's playing in the 8 and the 6. And we've got a hell of a lot of players in there. I mean, we've got Danilo and Sangare to come back yet. And then you've got Dominguez. You've got Yates. You've got Anderson. It's not easy. We've got a lot of good players for those positions. And as I keep saying to you guys, it's no longer a team game. It's a squad game. So you don't have a number 10. You don't have a number 6. You don't have a number 8. You pick the right combination of players for a particular game. And in some circumstances, it's going to be MGW. MGW yesterday was fantastic, I thought. I didn't realize how much I missed his energy. He had a lot of energy, running about all over the shop, putting himself about. Some quality touches as well. I was really impressed with MGW yesterday. But I also don't forget what Anderson's done for us either. I don't just think, oh, great, it's MGW, it's brilliant. Oh, forget everybody else in the world. I don't do that. I remember
he was and he was that level yesterday.
If he was, what do you mean he was that level? What does that mean? He was
the level where you can go all high pitched and shit. I thought he was that good yesterday.
He had a good game yesterday. I would give him an 8 out of 10.
No, but he had a high pitch game where you can go, ooh, MGW that.
Well, maybe it depends on how excited you get about it. But yeah, I don't disagree with that. He was fantastic yesterday. I really enjoyed the way he played. And as I say, I didn't realize how much I'd missed his energy. But as I also said, I'm not going to forget what Anderson did when he was playing at 10. He was fantastic as well. So they're both great 10s. Why are you like making people make a choice of who should be number 10? The answer is they should both be number 10. That's the answer. So take your choice. I don't care. I don't care.
Team selection. That's
and you can try and pin me down as much as you like. You ain't going to change my decision. I think they both have equal attributes, different attributes, but equally as good. And in some games, I mean, yesterday was perfect. MGW ran himself into the ground, looked fantastic, brought Anderson on. He played brilliantly as well. Great. What's the issue here? Why do we have
the issue is you're only going to play with one number 10. Now, not only are you agreeing with Rob, you're sounding like Rob.
Carlton, this is why Ant doesn't play FIFA, because he doesn't realize you can only have 11 players on the pitch.
He doesn't know. Do you know how many times he sent me a team sheet with 12 players on it?
I've always had that issue. I did suggest that we applied to the Premier League to change the rules, allowing Nottingham Forest to have 12 players.
Allowing Ant to put 12 players on. No, I need you to answer the question. You're playing, who we got next? Newcastle, right? Who you put in against number 10 in the name?
That's a tricky one now, isn't it? I tell you what I would do. I'd play them both. I would play.
Who are you playing in the 10, man?
I would play Gibbs White initially in the 10, but as Rob quite rightly pointed out, and I pointed out on several occasions, good teams like Manchester City, they rotate during a game. They will swap positions during a game. You are not nailed. How many times have I said this? You put a team sheet out, those players aren't nailed to those positions. They move about. It's a modern game. You'll see left wingers go over to the right and swap during a game, etc., etc. You'll see players move from being a wing back to a full back. You'll see a 3-back turn into a 4-back. You change during the game. So it's not unrealistic to suggest that you can have MGW in the 10 to start with and Elliot Anderson in the 8. And during the games at certain points, MGW, even if he's playing 10, it's going to run back to make a tackle.
No one's saying it's Sabutio, man. We know it's not Sabutio.
During that, while he's making that tackle and winning that ball, Anderson can move a little bit further forward. So all of a sudden, it's not a 10 and an 8. It's an 8 and a 10. So there's your answer. Am I right,
all of a sudden, it's not a 10 and an 8. It's an 8 and a 10. That literally makes no sense.
If we had Sangare, could we play both of them?
It's not a 10 and an 8. It's the 8 moving to the 10 and the 10 moving to the 8 is what I mean.
If we had Sangare, could we play both of them? If Sangare was available to play behind.
You could play both.
He'd still play one in the 8. He'd still play one in the 8. What are you saying, double 10?
Dominguez and Yates and...
Why not double 10?
You can't have
that's not balanced. That's not balanced.
Why would he change his formation after it's working?
Exactly.
No, not double 10. No, I wouldn't go double 10. I would go alternating.
Anderson 8, MGW 10.
That's what you're saying. How can you say Ant's 100% bang on when he's literally said nothing? He's literally said nothing.
I think I said quite a lot, actually.
A lot of nothing.
I could see people nodding off in the chat, so I must have said quite a bit.
You did. Okay. Wait, this conversation isn't done, but I got to catch up on the super chats. Where did we last get to? 1865 says, with the £2 says, could this team be the new Miracle Men? Imagine.
New Miracle. Oh, I see. If we win the championship and then go on to win 2 European Cups.
Imagine.
Yeah,
but that's still not as impressive as doing it when you come up in the first season. I still think they'd have to win the league twice, all European.
Cup.
No, we'd have to relegate ourselves on purpose, and then come up the next season and win it.
Ain't doing that. No.
Thank you so much for the £2. The legend Lemmy, who has aged in the last week. He has. Shout out to Lemmy and his new bride. Congratulations again. With the £2 says, send Rob to the sim bin. Bring me on instead. You're on next week for the Newcastle game, mate. Thank you so much. And yeah, we're nearly sending Rob or Ben. I'm giving you guys an option of crypto or Rob. I would rather, if I'd done that after Ant had spoken, the only name on there would be Ant right now. But thank you so much for the £2, Lemmy. Dean says, he's even paid to say, 10 out of 10, and you are totally correct. For once. At least he put the 4 once there to give it some balance.
For once? What do you mean, for once?
Thank you so much, Dean. I can't say I agree with the first part of your super chat there. And then Grizz with the 499 says, worked great. Being able to play them both, keep the intensity. Thank you so much for the 499, but do appreciate all your guys' supports. We've got 600 in on YouTube, 800 across the platform. Please don't forget to hit the like. Make sure you've subscribed. I don't know. Maybe we just move on from this because you lot aren't talking sense. To be honest, crypto spoke the most sense. The chat is saying 71%, 70% have gone for Morgan Gibbs White as their the best 10, and 30% went for Anderson. Now, after the game yesterday in the player ratings, I did that. It was quite 50-50. So it's interesting. Okay, I want to talk about Ryan Yates. I think under Nuno, especially this last 4 games, I think he's been pretty damn good. I think he's cut out the annoying habits of falling over. I think he's been watching us and realizes that the refs are cutting onto it. Although he did it once yesterday. He went down holding his head, didn't he? And then is like, oh crap, West Ham got the ball, and suddenly he popped back up. But I think his passing has improved. I think his tackling, and as Ant would call it, bundling over players, has been cut out. And I think, and I agree with something you said earlier, Rob, that this team now, anyone coming back into this team is not an automatic choice. What are your thoughts on Mr. Yates, Rob?
Well, how many times over his career have we said, "Oh, he's reached his level now. He's not going to make it at this level, and he seems to just keep adding to his game, and fair play to him. And, when we set up against Crystal Palace, my initial thought was Yates and Dominguez is a bit too defensive. There's not a lot of creativity there. And we did only win that game 1-0. It was fairly close. But then we've played it for the last 2 games. We've scored 6 goals. And I think what appeals to me most about having that combo is the defense doesn't have anything to do. They're screening the defense so well that, Murillo can come forward on runs. The fullbacks can get up. I mean, look at the damage that Moreno and Aina did yesterday. And it's because you've got those, and both Yates and Dominguez, I know I'm answering both at the same time, but they both cover so much ground, and they've, both of them have cleaned up their act as well. Neither of them is launching in. I think, partly with when Yates last season was chasing people and tackling them from behind, I think it was possibly because he didn't have confidence in the defense to stop that person's run. So he felt that he had to do it. And he gave away so many stupid free kicks last year, and we got punished from so many of them. And he's cut that out of his game because he knows that, like, okay, I can't catch this guy up, but don't worry, Murillo and Milenkovic will stop this. And even if they don't, Sells will save it. And there's a little bit less panic in it and a lot more maturity in his game. And, fair play to him. Let's hope he continues to get even better. And if he keeps scoring as well, then you can't criticize him. You cannot, and we need to give him the credit that is due, because we've been tough on him on this channel. But when facts change, opinions change too.
Well, can I respond to that? Because I think Yates has been great as well, but sometimes tough love is what makes them better. So if you criticize someone, if someone like Ryan Yates can take that on board and better his game, then that's a sign of a good player.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's improved, but I think he was gaslit. All this, you'd always hear, oh yeah, even Yates knows his limitations. Even Yates doesn't, he knows he's not good and stuff. Where what we've been saying, or at least I've been saying, is no, there's a footballer in there. Start playing instead of gaslighting it. So I'm happy with what he's doing, and I think anyone coming in from injury now, not just in his position, by the way, in any position, is going to struggle to break in, because why? The old cliche: why change a winning team?
I think Yates is pretty much first on the team sheet for Nuno right now. Seriously.
For Nuno or for you?
For Nuno,
not for me. For Nuno, I think he really appreciates what his reliability. And you're quite right. He has stopped down on those, because Yates has never been one for scything people down and stuff like that. That's why he doesn't get the bookings. He runs into players. That's what he does. He runs into players and knocks them over. And yesterday, I remember him doing it at least once, but in general, he wasn't doing it. And that makes him such a better player, because other players must hate playing against him, because he's like a rat. He's always at you. He's always there. He's always there. You turn around and here he is. And he brings you down, and he smiles at the ref, and the ref lets him off. He's got it. He's got it. And I'm really
but he's more than that is the point, and
he's more than that. Oh, he's definitely more than that.
But it gets gaslit so much, man. It gets gaslit.
People get onto us because, we might criticize somebody, and then, like Chris Wood, for example, is the classic example. And then a couple of years later, you're praising him. Yeah, because they've improved. That's why. We only want the best for our club. And Yates, without doubt, has improved. Year on year, he's improved. And now he's becoming a proper Premier League footballer, to the point where if we were to sell him, I think there'd be a lot of clubs, not the top ones, obviously, but a lot of clubs.
Excuse me.
Like West Ham would love him. I'm sure West Ham would love him. He'd make a difference to them. He'd be better than that fucking competitors have got. I'll tell you that.
We're the Cartel 6. You can't get any higher.
Exactly. We're Cartel 6.
Well, yeah. That's fair comment. But you know what I'm saying?
I've got to talk about, and people are talking about in the comments, Somerville. That was just nasty from him. Where was VAR on that? Did you not see it? Have you seen it?
Was this the kick?
Yeah.
Was this the kick on
there was a lot of afters in that, wasn't it?
He needed
both legs on him. Yeah,
He
flapped
fell on
both
top of
legs
Yates,
at him.
about on the halfway line, if I remember rightly. He then lifted his leg up and then smashed it down on the back of Yates' head.
Didn't spot that.
It was, see if you can catch a replay of it. It
But
was
evidently the
absolutely
MGW
intentional.
one was a lot of, even West Ham fans are saying that was a sending off. The MGW one on the edge of the box.
Yeah, but
I mean, we
thought the
saw
Yates
that,
one
but
was
it was the
blatant.
opposite end of the Trent end, so you didn't get the detail. It's only now I've seen it, I'm thinking that could have broken his ankle. That could.
Yeah, the ankle that I think he's coming back off an ankle injury, isn't he? I don't know if it was the same ankle or not. No, but I thought the Somerville one was disgusting. Like at first glance, you think, okay, accidental, but then you see him like wind his leg up higher to then bring it down, and
I'll have to check that out.
It's disgusting, man. Chat, I don't know what you lot think. Was that a sending off or not? Let me know in the comments. But I think in general, West Ham were just frustrated with Forest. We played them off the park. They created nothing, and they resorted to that.
I felt so. I said to Nathan with about 70 minutes to go, I said, "Look at their players. They must just want to get down that fucking tour. They are being totally outclassed and everything. There's nothing they could. That's why I say I enjoyed it. There's nothing they could do to hurt us. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's no point in them being on that pitch. They must just think, get me off. Can I mention a player that never gets? He does get some, not a lot. Oh, I love his attitude, and that's Moreno. Did you see him afterwards? He's doing the fist pumps again, and he's like, he seems to really, really love it. Now, I know that you weren't keen because he turned us down before, but you must now look at him and think,
no, I didn't say he was a bad player. I said
you didn't say that. You were worried about
the whole pompousness about we're below him. Yeah.
Yeah, but my point is, you must think now he's definitely.
Oh no! As soon as we signed him, I said he goes straight into the team. There's no two ways about it.
From a talent point of view, I'm talking about from his buying into the project. If you like,
no, I'm liking it. I'm liking it.
He's on the pitch when everybody else is gone, and he's winding the fans up and stuff. He loves it. Great stuff.
Yeah, the only thing I can't buy into, is I fell into this trap with Lodi, and I'm not gonna lie. I'm impressed with Moreno. I love what he's doing. But I don't want to make the attachment yet. I don't want to. It's like, let me agree with my mind.
There's a difference, though. Moreno's a 31, isn't he? 31.
It might be
so his choices are going to be limited. His choices are going to be limited, aren't they?
Isn't there a parallel with Chris Wood, because he's at a similar stage in his career where Wood was on loan initially, right? Moreno's at a similar stage in his career where he's getting frozen out of Villa. And he's thinking, oh, is my career now winding up? Is that the end of it? And all of a sudden, he's involved in, a top 3 team. So it's like a little rebirth for him. So absolutely, his career could have been over if he just sat on the sidelines of Villa. Yeah. And now he's part of arguably the best back 4 in the division. So we should sign him up. We should sign him up. Absolutely.
Oh, definitely.
But hold on, before you answer, that's the question I put into the chat. Would you sign him up? Bearing in mind he's 31, I think you guys have confirmed that. I don't know how much the option to buy is. I guess probably like 10 mil, something like that. If I had to guess, I
would think so.
Yeah, something like that. Get your answers in the poll and get your comments into why. Let me just catch up with the super chats, and I'm going to ask you all about Moreno. Chris with another £2 says Somerville did Yates on purpose yesterday. 100%, I agree with it. On first glance, though, it didn't look like it.
Surely they'll look at that then. Surely
they didn't, man. They didn't. It's all corruption.
But they could do it. They could do it. Yeah, but they could do it.
They're not even talking about it. They're not even talking about it. It's
absolutely
corrupt.
I tell you what else they're not talking about. And I was right behind it, so I had a perfect view of it. And that was MGW's pass to Moreno that set up Chris Wood's goal.
Oh, we talked about it yesterday.
Oh, man, it was I was like, even before we scored, I was like glowing with it, how brilliant it was. So, but
can we also talk about what Moreno did with it? Because he showed a lot of football intelligence there. Because if you watch the replay, Wood is initially offside. Then he's onside, then he's offside again, and then he's onside. And Moreno is delaying the cross.
Yeah,
he ends up delaying it until he's practically at the goal line, and then when he knows that he's thinking, well, he can't possibly be offside from here because I'm practically on the bloody line. Now I'm going to cross it. The cross was perfect, but it's not just the weighting of the cross; it was the timing of the cross. So when somebody's contributing that much in the attack, he's not just a defender. He's not just a defender. As much as I like Nico Williams, A lot of it is bluster, you know, but that was quality from Moreno.
Yeah, it's quality.
Absolute quality.
I do disagree with you. I don't think the cross was perfect. I think it was slightly behind Chris Wood. Which adds to the goal because it shows the anticipation of Wood, who was able to adjust his body weight and shape perfectly. How many times we use the word perfect? If we had £1 for every time we use the word perfect, you know what I'm saying? So I thought that was a fantastic goal, and I agree. Look, Morgan Gibbs' white ball was sensational, but when you watch it back, there was a massive hole in that West Ham defense in their right back position. Like, what are they doing? They're just begging him to put it there. Okay, Stuart with another £10. Thank you so much, you absolute legend. Sir Robert of Berkshire, you are gracious in your anonymity. And
is what?
Stuart, I love you, bro. Right, but can we use like words that I'm not going to struggle with?
Two syllables max for Wolfie. 2 syllables max.
And I'm fuck it.
Anonymity. I'll have an 8, please, Bob.
It's true. Hey, you bastard. I've gone blank. Thank you so much.
Anonymity.
That's 3 syllables, you idiot.
That's 4.
That's 4.
5. Anonymity.
Anonymity.
5.
You said 2. You said 2. That's what you confused.
I know. Yeah, 2. Yeah. Carry on. Yeah.
Quality broadcasting. Quality.
Chris, thank you for the 2.
This is why they're here, Rob. They're here for this. Make us look like bloody idiots. That's what they're here for. It's nothing to do with football.
Chris with the £2 says, seems to be anything goes against Yates. What do you mean? Oh
no, I know what he means. I know what he means
with the refs.
Oh yeah.
Yates has got maybe a reputation now. The refs are more tolerant of people fouling him. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
But he's eroding that, I think. So it will come back in his favor. Dean with the £5 says age is not a negative thing nowadays. Look at Wolfie. Mate, being 22 for me is a positive thing. I'm dreading turning 23. So I know exactly what you're trying to say there, bro. But I don't
He's talking in dog years, by the way.
Shut up.
I still wonder how he managed to father children 9 years old. That's a biological miracle.
Mate, I was mature for my age, mate.
9.
Mature for my age.
Yeah. Touch and go. Touch and go.
Thank you so much, Dean. And the lovely Jess with the £5 says, sort out Wood's contract, then Aina, then focus on Moreno. Who was saying in our group chat? Was there talks that, was it Mark saying that there's a 5-year contract on the table for Wood? I don't
believe that. I don't believe. No.
I never believe what Mark says. Never believe what Mark says.
It may be one that includes a move upstairs because he's the kind of player that you would want to keep around as part of your setup, even when his playing days are over. So it might be that sort of deal. You know, they do that for senior players these days, if you see what I mean. Turn them into coaching staff.
They didn't do that for Felipe.
Don't say the F word on here. And Lorraine's in the chat as well. You can't say that.
I don't understand why has Ez left the panel to chat at people in the chat? Surely it was it not more fun being on the
internet's messed up. Anyway, 2 years plus 1 extension shot. I would agree with that. What would you boys say? I'd go 1 plus 1 if I'm being honest. I'd go 1 plus 1.
Yeah, what we're talking about?
Wood's contract. How long would you go?
I think I'd obviously give him next season.
If you accept 1 plus 1, I'd go 1 plus 1. Absolutely. Why would you do anything else?
Depending on his performance next season. The thing for me is, obviously, I've got to be careful how I say this before I end up clipped on Twitter. But Wood is fantastic, right? We can all agree Wood is a brilliant player. I hope he's around for a long time. I'm sure next season he'll be good as well. My only worry is, if you look at someone like Felipe, so Felipe, the season before he left, he was brilliant. He was our best defender. We can probably all agree. The next season, he completely fell off in a similar way.
Why?
Because of his age. I know he was injured. Yeah, but
no.
Age comes in.
I retired him.
I know he was injured as well. But look at someone like Bolly. Bolly was fantastic. He's lost half a pace this season. Age has a big impact on professional sports players. So I would prefer to give Wood a contract yearly based on his performance.
Yeah, but
Because
it's
I
if
think-
what he'll accept, Ben. It's what he'll accept.
Yeah, I understand. But if you go and sign him to a 5-year contract, he's our best player.
Right,
He's one of the best players at the
there's
moment.
another
It
dimension
doesn't
to it.
good in 5 years' time. It doesn't
There's
mean
another
good in-
dimension to it, which is that he's on pretty big money at the moment. So if he
That's
wants,
fine. He deserves it. Well, he deserves
yeah, I know.
it.
If he wants to stay on that kind of money, you can only really do it a year at a time.
Yeah, but the return we get,
That's what
The return we
1 plus
get,
1
Rob, is
is. It's a year
Yeah,
at a time.
exactly. If he was
Yeah,
ready to
I
take a
don't-
pay cut, he could have a 3 or 4 year contract. If he was
Yeah,
ready
but
to
why?
take a pay
Why
cut.
should he? He's scoring the same amount of goals as Haaland is, and he's on probably
But
5 times
but it's
more.
not just a simple case of how many years do you want to give him, right? If he was prepared to take a pay cut, I would give him a 4 or 5 year contract, which would be worth more to him.
Rob, if I was Chris Wood, I'd be asking for a pay rise. I wouldn't be asking for a pay cut.
Exactly.
No.
Right, this is just like whether you take out
wait a
a
minute,
mortgage
Rob,
that's
wait a
fixed
sec,
for
wait a sec,
5 years
wait a
or
sec.
fixed for 2. You look at the rate.
Rob, wait a sec, Rob. When you get to his age, you will take pay cuts. Because you're 32, 33, doesn't mean you can have the same wage as when you're 28, 29. There's a big difference. So it's a case of what is available to him. What other club is going to give him 90 grand a week? None.
I don't
And
know.
that's
None.
completely incorrect.
I
That's
disagree.
completely
I
No,
think
it's
Rob-
not completely incorrect. It's not
I think
It
they
completely
is.
give him
incorrect.
more. They give him more.
Well, who's going to give him 90 grand a week then? At
Okay.
the end of this season, at the end of this
Anyone
season.
of
Are
Liverpool-
you sticking to that
Arsenal
answer?
or Man
Let me
U?
deal with that. Are you sticking to that answer?
I'm not talking Saudi Arabia. I'm not talking MLS.
I'm not
talking
talking
in
Saudi
the UK.
Arabia. I'm not talking Saudi Arabia.
90 grand a
Okay,
week.
yeah, I am. I'm sticking to that answer. Yeah.
You're sticking to that answer. Okay. Explain to me what happened with Jesse Lingard.
I'm not talking Jesse Lingard. I'm talking Chris Wood.
Okay,
Yeah,
why
Chris
did
Wood's better
Forest
than
I'm
Jesse
not talking Chris Wood. Jesse
Hold
Lingard's
on.
an entirely different situation.
It's not. It's
It
not.
is
Just
because
follow
he
my
has
logic.
a massive media. He has a massive social media presence. Therefore, clubs will buy him just for that, like we did.
Bollocks. That's absolute bollocks. This is professional
Oh, fuck
football.
off, Ben. You
They
don't know what
won't
you're talking
buy- they
about as
won't-
usual.
well,
Shut
150
up.
grand a
Shut
week.
up, Ben.
Hold on.
Ben, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. I do. Right. End of discussion. Piss
Hold
off.
on, Ant. Hold on, Ant. Let me answer me this
I hate it
question.
when
Right?
people say, no, that's wrong without actually saying anything.
If you let
But
me
it's
tell
wrong.
you the point why it's wrong, then you'll understand. How long has
It's
Chris
not wrong.
Wood got left on his contract?
The rest of the season, I believe.
Yeah, so basically from January he can talk about a new contract, which means no transfer fees, correct or not?
Yes, correct. Yes.
What do players do in those scenarios when they know there's no transfer fee? What do they do with their agent?
Oh, you're thinking because he's not yet signed one that he must have hundreds of other offers. That's what
I
you're
didn't
thinking.
say
is
that.
it?
I didn't say that. You said what club would or wouldn't pay him. Chris Wood
I'm
coming
saying
to
no
another
club will pay him
club.
90 grand a week at 32. No club.
They
Really?
really
Are you joking?
Yeah,
Are
really.
you joking that
I'm not
Man United
joking.
wouldn't take him right now?
Do you think Man United will buy Chris Wood, you prat?
Of course they fucking would. Are you? They've got
Oh, you think
Rasmus
so? You
Højlund.
really think
Would
that
you
Man
rather
United
have
will buy
Rasmus
Chris Wood?
Højlund
Grow
or Chris
up,
Wood?
Rob.
Would you
Grow
rather
up.
have? Would you
Just
rather
because you
have
want to have an
his
argument,
second top
don't bring
scorer?
stupidity into the scenario,
No,
right?
he's
Man
right.
United will
Chairman,
never,
Chairman,
ever buy Chris Wood.
And
Chairman.
their track
No
record
chance
says
in
they
a
would.
million years.
Chairman,
Will they buy
Can I-
Chris Wood?
right.
Man.
Wait till he's finished, and then I would like to answer without being shouted at. Right?
Go on.
Okay.
You
So-
deserve to be shouted at.
Man United have got a new manager coming in, and they are
And he's going to buy
desperate.
Chris Wood.
Let him
Desperate.
finish. Let
They
him
are
finish.
desperate to get back into the Champions League at any cost. At any cost. And if they could take Chris Wood on a free transfer in the January window and pay him $250K a week, and that gets them in the Champions
You're
League,
insane, mate.
he is
You're
second top
insane.
scorer in the division. You are talking
Rob-
out of your arse, right?
Rob,
He is
don't
second
fucking
top
say that,
scorer
Rob.
in the
Rob.
division.
Here we go then, Rob. Here we go. I will bet £1,000 against your £10 that Man United don't sign Chris Wood in January.
Because he's going to
Wait,
sign
wait,
for
wait,
Alvarez.
wait.
That's a
My
straw
money
man.
Yeah.
against £10 of yours
Right.
that Man
Wait,
United
stop.
will not sign Chris Wood in
Well,
January.
You know what? I've never heard
Wait,
so
stop.
both of you talking absolute bollocks. Rob, he's not
Hang on,
going to.
you're the fucking bollock
Why should
talker,
he
mate.
take
You're
a
the
pay
fucking bollock talker.
Why should he take a pay cut as our top striker? There's no reason he should take a pay cut. And there'll be plenty of teams who want Chris Wood in their team. I've never heard such codswallop in all my life. Absolute bollocks.
Wait. He is Simbined, by the way. He is Simbined because we got the super chats, right? But Ant, you can't say that about Man U, because I'll say to you, look at the strikers they've bought on a free.
Yeah.
Ibrahimovic, Falcao, Cavani, all older than Chris Wood, all paid double what Chris Wood is on.
Yeah.
Who did they get last season? Weghorst.
Oh, that's a point. I forgot about Weghorst.
Yeah, okay. So you can't even say
I don't think he was
distant.
32, though. I don't think Weghorst is 32.
He's crap, though. But
He is a Dutch international. There is a difference. Do you know
Chris
what I mean?
Wood is the New Zealand international.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
New Zealand,
The only reason that I brought Man U into it is because you said nobody would want Chris Wood on 90 grand a week.
And I'm right. And we'll see I'm right. We'll see I'm right, won't we?
He would be a quick fix for someone like that. Absolutely.
People, look, Rob, I don't think you understand, right? People do not rate Chris Wood.
They just have to. Well, I agree with you there, because I've got him in my fantasy team.
Right. I don't think they're right.
I agree with you there. I agree with you there, because I've got him in my fantasy team, and he's only selected by 19.8% of fantasy Premier League teams, which is ridiculous, because he's the second highest scoring striker, and he is half the price of Haaland. So there's some underrating going on, because people are going for Watkins or Isaac or whatever, but he's scored more points than any of them. So I agree that he's underrated, but if he is low hanging fruit. If somebody needs to give themselves a mid-season boost to get over the line and into the Champions League. So I'm just saying, somebody like Arsenal or Man U could do with this.
They won't.
You're mistaking this for a prediction. I've not said that he's going to Man U. That was your straw man. You said that nobody else would be interested in him, which was wrong. I disagree.
That's around 100 grand a week. I've got to stress that. That's important.
The contract thing, because there was something I was waiting to say for 5 minutes, right? It's a simple commercial negotiation, right? If he wants to keep earning 100k a week, do it year by year. But what you can do is you can say, look, if you're willing to take a cut to 50k a week, we can give you a 4 or 5 year contract. 50k a week over the 5 years is worth more.
I get that. I get that.
It's only like remortgaging your house.
No, it's not. You're wrong.
You want a fixed rate over 5 years at a lower rate. That's all it is.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong. I'll tell you why you're wrong. Sorry, I'll let you come in, Anne. I'll tell you why you're wrong. If Chris Wood did a 2-year deal with Forest on 90k a week, that's better than 50k over 4 years. Because at the end of the 2 years, he could go to Saudi and get himself 100k. He could go to the Turkish league, whatever. So,
or be out of a job. Be out of a job.
He won't be out of a job, man. He ain't living on freaking dole money, man. This is
the way I think it'll go. I think we'll make him a good offer. I think it'll be 1+1, and then his choice will be either to stay at Forest on a very good salary, or he'll go to MLS. That's the way I'm looking at it.
Definitely not Man United, though.
I don't think Man United or Arsenal are going to go in for him, if I'm honest. Can you imagine their fucking fan bases? Can you imagine their fan bases if they went in for Chris Wood?
Oh, what, the second highest top goal scorer in the Premier League?
They would burn the stadium down, mate. They would burn the stadium down.
If we beat Arsenal 2-0, right, when we play them next month.
You're not understanding what I'm saying. He's not fashionable. It doesn't matter. He could get 20 goals this season.
That I agree with.
Arsenal will still not want him.
And who's better, Solanke or Wood?
Wood.
Okay, Spurs bought Solanke for 65.
Yeah, I know, but he's young. He's young and he's English.
He ain't that young.
32's not that old.
How old's Solanke? I think he's like 26, 27.
Yeah, that's young, mate. That's young. I'm sorry, Wolfie. I know
Older than
you
me.
like to fantasize you're 23, but 26 is young, believe me.
All right. Well, the chat says
Anyway, how did you
62.
manage to wind me up? I was all chilled out. And you
It's supposed
managed
to be
to
a
do it.
happy stream, and you lot just can't go
Hello.
an hour or
What
a
are
bit
we
without.
arguing about? We're arguing about
Honestly.
absolutely nothing.
I don't know, but you started it.
That's true. That's true.
Oi, you're Simbin for 30 more seconds. Shut up.
I'm being ganged up on now.
The chat
They're
said
bullying me.
62% reckon Man U would buy him. I think ask any Man U fan if they would take him.
They're crazy.
Oi,
Can you imagine?
don't cross
They
the line
bring
of our
Amorim.
chat.
They're being enamoring, right? And he says, it gets up to his first insight. He says, we've got a difficulty. I won't do the accent. We've got a difficulty scoring goals. So this January, we're going to try and sign Chris Wood. Can you imagine it? Old Trafford's falling down as it is. It won't take much for him to pull it up there.
And they would be like, you know what? He's the second highest goal scorer in the Premier League, best goal conversion ratio. He's got the second most goals since Nuno came back.
Let's get Goldbridge, Saeed, and Flex on. Let's see what they're going to say about signing Chris Wood.
Flex would take him tomorrow,
Hey,
mate. Flex would take him tomorrow.
If it gets them Champions League football, then that's
You know
all
what,
they care
Rob?
about.
The crazy thing is, Rob, I believe that. I believe that he would improve their team, but they won't do it. That's all I'm saying.
But they won't be allowed to do it because we are higher in the league than them. We're a bigger club than them. We are going to get, we might win the title. They're not going to do that. So he would be an idiot to go to Man U over Forest. End of discussion. End of discussion. All right, I've tried to read this out 3 times. I love Jessica's profile picture, by the way. Love it. Jess with the £2 says, give Wood whatever he wants. I am tending to agree, but I still would do it on a 1+1 and give him what he wants. Right, we've still got 550 of you in here. Please make sure you've hit the like button. Grab your tickets for the birthday bash, 20th of November. Shout out to Bernard, who has grabbed his tickets as well. I'll shout out anyone who grabs their tickets in the next 5 minutes, 20th of November. And Brucey has confirmed he will be there. He will be there. Okay.
And I just say, after following my unreasonable outburst, I'm going to sin bin myself for a couple of minutes.
Thank God for that, man. All right, Ben, and chat, let's get to the main debating point of tonight's episode. Are Forest in a title race? Can't wait to see the chat's answers. Crypto, you kick us off.
Head or heart answer?
Just give me a fucking answer, man.
I'm gonna say no because I think Liverpool are too good. Even though we battered them, I think Liverpool are just running away with it, and I don't know. I'd love to say yes, but realistically, I'm gonna say no. But I hope I eat my words, and I hope we win the Premier League. But it's gonna be a tough one, isn't it? We've got some tough matches ahead as well. I think it's December where we play Arsenal, Man United, and a few other
City, Villa,
Villa. So December, let's get through December, and then I'll make a decision whether we can run for the title.
You're just so negative. You really are. You really are.
I mean, I've got to counterbalance what I say on Twitter, where I say that I said we'd win the Premier League at the start of the season, but.
Yeah, you could be right. Shout out to Muhammad, who did say we would win the Premier League. All right, Rob, what are you saying? Are we in a title race?
No, because I think we threw away a few points early on against the likes of Bournemouth and Fulham that are going to be a bit difficult to catch up now. I mean, we are now 6 points adrift of Liverpool. We did beat Liverpool away. So
they're going to come to our place, mate. There's 3 points back.
Yeah, sure. So,
they've still got to play our other title contenders, Man City.
Yeah, I just think that are we going to make up 6 points on Liverpool over the or Man? I mean, Man City might well get the points deduction, right? So if it was just a head-to-head, can we finish above Man City this season? Possibly, but when you're looking at Liverpool with the 6 point lead over us, I'm not sure how we chip away at that 6 points, because not only are we going to have to beat them to do that, but we're going to have to be more consistent than them. And I feel like we lost a bit of ground early on before we really got going with the Bournemouth and the Fulham games. Those were not great results at home, honestly. If you want to win the title, those were not great results. So
I mean, way to put it down on it, Rob. The thing is, Man City haven't gone into full robot mode yet. At some point, Man City will go into robot mode like they always do.
Wait, I just hate you guys. You're so negative. You're so negative because we are in a title race. And you in the
6 points
chat.
behind. We are 6 points behind.
Yeah.
No, all right. Well, let me ask Ant before I start kicking off at these two. Go on, Ant.
I love your passion and everything, and I love your delusion, mate. But come on, we ain't winning this league. I said at the beginning of the season I'd be delighted with 14th. 12th would be dream world. Now I am seriously looking at those European positions, and by that I mean right down to conference. So you could be talking down to 9th.
Oh, with Jason's trophy.
Yeah.
We wipe our ass with that kind of silverware, mate.
Yeah, I know, but we ain't held any for a long time. So I never did. I never downgraded. If you remember, if you go back, I always bigged up the trophy because I knew that one day we might be competing for it. So I bigged it up from then, right? If we could get into, as I say, it could go down to as low as 8th or 9th this year, depending on how the cups go and everything. So if we can get into that.
And sorry to interrupt you, but there's a great point raised here by Sci-Fi. Are Arsenal in a title race?
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Okay, but they're further away than we are.
Yeah, I know they are, but they've got players.
So where's your logic? Where's your logic?
Because they are a good side. They are a good side.
Are we not?
We're not.
We're a good side.
Not at the moment. At the moment, they're absolutely dreadful, and long may it continue. But I don't think it will. I think that they'll get back into it, and they'll probably finish. If I had to put money on it, I'd say 2nd or 3rd. I don't think they'll win it, but they're in the race. I don't think they'll win it. I don't think Liverpool will win it either. I think Rob's way overpraising Liverpool. I don't think.
Wait, Rob praised Liverpool.
I didn't praise them. I said that they're 6 points ahead of us. That's a big difference.
Yeah. Well, somebody. Hang on, it's my turn to talk. Somebody said they're running away with it. Well, they're not running away with it.
I didn't say that.
Yeah.
You did. You did.
Yeah, you did.
No.
You did.
You did.
You probably said at the moment they're running away with it. But hang on, no, it's my turn, Rob. So
always.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Rob. You'll get Simbin in a minute if you're not careful. I love the Simbin idea. I don't think that Liverpool are that great. I really don't.
But you hate Liverpool.
I do hate Liverpool more than anything in the world. I hate Liverpool.
All right, so obviously you're going to say that.
No, I don't
you got to look at them
great.
objectively now. They're competitors.
Apart from Forest, who have they played?
Arsenal.
Yeah, they got a draw at Arsenal against Arsenal with about 10 players missing. Let's not pretend. Let's not pretend that injuries don't matter because they bloody well do. Okay. And Arsenal were absolutely decimated that day, and they still got a draw and could have won it. So they're not that. Liverpool aren't that great. They'll come down to earth pretty soon. Man City, they're playing really badly as well, but surely this can't continue. I was saying earlier on, I wish we were playing Arsenal, Man City, and Man United next. I really do, because I fancy us against all of them.
We're not far off playing. We've got Arsenal in 2 games time, and then Man City and Man U back to back.
And don't forget
that's Christmas time, isn't it? Well, Man U, I'm not worried about. But yeah, I just feel that we need to relax a little bit. You know, let's just keep going under the radar. Let's just keep going. You know, I mean. But we'll see. But if we can finish, as I say, in a European place, that will, let's face it, that will be beyond our dreams at the beginning of the season. Let's be honest. Well, not yours, maybe. I'll give you that. But the rest of us, it would have been beyond our dreams. So if we can get a European place, I think we'd be happy with that, surely.
I'd be content, mate.
Champions League, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, look, I'm saying we're in a title race because technically we're in a title race.
Technically, we are right now.
Mathematically, technically, philosophically, whatever luckily you want to look at it. Anonymity, right? We are in a title race, okay? And I'm sorry, you've all said no team scares you right now. Have you not?
Correct.
And
Yes,
Rob,
I would say.
Yes.
any team
Agree
scares
with
you?
that. Agree with that.
Ben, any team scares you?
Yes.
Who?
Bournemouth.
Wolves with his back.
Wolves.
Wolves. I want to understand your logic. If you are not scared of any team, why are we not in a title race?
No, we can win
You
the
are scared.
head-to-head, but we are
Oh.
6 points adrift. And anyway, look, the plot of this film is the same every time I watch it, which is it's tight every year, and then Man City win the title, right?
That's the
They
thing,
are.
isn't it?
I mean, this year's title is going to be decided in court because basically Man City win again unless they get a points deduction, right? Now, so leaving them out of the equation, can we catch Liverpool? I still think probably not. Not if we're 6 points behind them at this stage.
6 points is nothing, Rob. 6
Well, I
points
don't
is
know.
nothing.
I
Mate,
don't
No,
know.
if
3
we-
weeks ago, we were like 9
Wolfie
points,
said, if
10
we beat
points.
them at the City ground, it's 3 points. That's one
Yeah.
game over the
Yeah.
whole season.
Exactly. Jessica with the £5 says, and my best friend is an Arsenal fan, and on our coffee date earlier, she said Forest were doing better than them. Factually
are.
correct,
We are.
emotionally
We
correct,
are.
philosophically correct, legally correct. Oh, did
And
you
I
see that?
love
I was
it.
just talking about
I
league.
love
Yeah.
it.
Thank you so much, Jessica.
First thing I said, you asked my brother, first thing I said after the final whistle went, fucking hell, we're above Arsenal.
Oh.
You know.
Well, we
So-
are. Look, there's
We
so
are.
much more to talk about, but we've done an hour and a half. We promised you an extended gore tonight. Coming up on the channel, we've got, I think I'm on Loaded Mag tomorrow night to gloat with Pete and the Geordies and the rest of them.
They'll be
I'll be
happy
on
though,
that.
won't
Huh?
they? They'll be happy. They'll be happy though, won't they?
Not as happy as
Yeah.
us, though. Not as happy as
They're
us.
not happy as
Exactly. We'll have a video out tomorrow. Then we got a build up with Pete for the Newcastle game because that's around the corner. It's Sunday, isn't it? This week, the game.
Is
Is
it
it
Sunday?
Sunday? Yeah, I think it's
Is it?
Sunday.
I don't know.
I think so. Chat will know.
I can
Chat
tell
will
you.
know.
Yeah, Sunday. It's Sunday.
It's
Yeah.
Sunday, yeah. And then Arsenal the following week.
We need to beat the drop back. I mean, we don't qualify for that anymore. That's
Race for
trouble.
Europe. Race for
The
Europe.
race for title, mate. Title race.
Just as then.
Well, why don't we nick our mate Turkish's channel and call ourselves the Big Six? Change it to look. We should kick Spurs out the Big Six and have a proper Big Six team in us. I think that's a straight swap. Surely it makes logical sense. And Man United.
Yeah. Newcastle were expecting to be in there at one point, weren't they? But they seem to have dropped off.
Yeah, we're gonna take it. And
So
we
it's
are
up to
also.
us.
Can I just add as well? We are also the highest ranked Midlands team in the world. In the world.
In the
Sorry,
universe. In the universe, I think you'll
In the
find.
universe. In
Yeah.
wherever. So
And
yeah,
we're
well-
the biggest Forest fan channel in the universe.
no, that's just the world, mate. That's just the world.
Why? Is there someone Andromeda somewhere out there in space then?
I don't know. You need to watch Men in Black again. All right, we'll be back tomorrow. Get your tickets in. I've just seen someone else has ordered their ticket. Shout out to Ziggy getting their ticket as well. We will see you guys tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We are third, and we're in a title race. Come on, you Reds.
You were.